Hi, this is Kerry Artek with Wicked Stocks bringing you the daily Tesla report for Friday, October 20th, 2023. But before I walk you through the charts, as usual, just want to encourage you to please click like if you haven't already, subscribe to the Wicked Stocks YouTube channel, share the content if you would with friends and colleagues, and check out wickedstocks.com, where we offer a full suite of both daily and weekly analytical videos just like this one. Daily analysis in the SPY and the Triple Q, that is the S&P 500 and NASDAQ 100 ETFs. Weekly analysis in the S&P 500 Index, the NASDAQ 100 Index, the Long Bond ETF, the TLT, as well as 2 individual stock picks a week that you never see on YouTube. That is 8 a month that cater to the 3 to 5 week swing trader out to the 3 to 5 month near-term investor. We're always looking for at least 20% moves on those stock picks, and you can check out all of this for no cost for 5 days. We offer a 5-day free trial up front with a wickedstocks.com subscription. So sign up for wickedstocks.com, check it all out. If you don't like what you see within 5 days, you can cancel your subscription at no cost to you whatsoever. On with the charts. So we obviously, well, it looks to me like we're going to close the week below the 245.08 channel bottom. We did close below it on the daily chart, as you may recall, on Wednesday, not by the 1% margin, but we did close below it, obviously with the earnings and the Musk speak. It set off follow-through selling that has, in the short span of about 6 or 8 hours, resulted in reaching probably halfway to our objective now inside of 6 or 8 hours. It was considered a 3 to 5 week target. And so this is what we're going with. The settlement that is assumed today to be at or below 242.63, in other words, 1% below this channel structure, has indicated 198.39. We could see this by the end of next week, and 189.51 over the next few weeks, 3 to 5 weeks. It really depends on if the market musters a rally back into the mid 240s or not, which would delay all that. That would be an opportunity to sell into later November, and once tested, we could fall back. Now, I do know I was seeing some of the comments on YouTube, and I know how frustrating it can be. I know that some of you stayed long with the settlement below this channel bottom, and there's just really, it's not a perfect science. By one measure, it was a sell signal on Wednesday, but I always emphasize the 1% violation because of the tendency for the market to stretch through, like a rubber band and not close below it by a 1% margin, which we did not do on Wednesday. So I hate to see people lose money in this stuff, but I know a lot of you, at least from some of the comments, stayed long on Wednesday's close and obviously have lived to regret it. And the question is where to now? This is a good image of what I'm expecting. 200.75 with what's played out over the last 24 hours. We could see that potentially today, that is Friday. I would call this more of a 3 to 5 day target, and I'll get to that in a moment. And 190.56 with present volatility, possibly by the end of next week, but I'm going to call it 2 to 3, 3 to 5 weeks, which allows this market to rally back into the upper 240s and fall off again. But 190.56 is our ultimate objective with healthy respect for the 200.75 rising 2/3 speed line. There's another way to phrase this, that on the way down, you're bottom picking 200.75 in anticipation perhaps of a longer term low here where we could turn back up into the upper 240s and even higher in the weeks to follow. And then you're playing the short side aggressively into later year with a settlement below 190.56. Inside of the 190.56 to 200.75 region is a bit of a no man's land with respect to trend identification. So that is the big picture. Now, in terms of will we reach 200.75 over the next 3 to 5 days? And I say yes, below 235.76. This is a new descending 1/3 speed line based on the September high against Wednesday's low. So if we get a bit of a rally here over the next few days, 235.76, as you can see here, is our upward pivot point. But we are below presently a downward pivot point that is short term at 224.78. So holding below 224.78 Where is that image again? Well, here it is. This is actually a good one here. We are below the near-term downward pivot point at 224.78, and it can contain session strength, and below which I say over the next 3 to 5 days, maybe today, we test 200.75. On the way down, we've got 212.36, which is that pullback low in August off of that July high. And so that's going to have some meaning today. I think you'll see plenty of potential bottom pickers at 212.36 just based on the fact that it's an old low. I don't have a problem bottom picking this level. I would rather you be short from 224.78 and take profits at 212.36. I think you can be short from 224.78 right now, sell that level in anticipation of 200.75 over the next 3 to 5 days. Now, if we happen to push through 224.78 today or close above 224.78, with this kind of volatility, merely pushing through 224.78 actually allows 235.76 on an intraday basis. And that is our upward pivot point into early next week. We are below our downward pivot point presently at 224.78. So selling pressures, I'm talking into next week, remain intact and can continue to build below 224.78, anticipating 200.75 over the next 1 to 5 days, depending on volatility and how this market behaves. But with what's played out over the last 24 hours, we could reach 200.75 intraday. And I will say that if we break 212.36, which is the August low, I think you can expect 200.75 by the closing bell, where we could bottom out through next week. And then we'll just take it on a day-by-day basis as to what our buy signal will be. I can tell you right now, there would be a new descending 1/3 speed line. There's still this channel bottom at 224.78. So we'll be watching this day-to-day in terms of when we might expect the market to turn higher following a test of 200.75. But it may not. We may just get a modest bounce here for a day or two and then right back at it, break 200.75, and within that very day, perhaps, test 190.56. 190.56 can absorb selling on a monthly basis, possibly through the balance of the year. And from here, we can rotate higher. So this is a solid zone. If you're short now, this is your profit-taking area, in my opinion. If we do close below 190.56, I do think, and I don't have the exact number, but there it is, 101.81. Honestly, I think within several months of closing below 190.56, you should make way for a retest of the January low from earlier this year. That would probably be about a 2 to 3 month event, but I'm not expecting it unless we close below 190.56. Back to the upside, you've got 224.78 there. I'm going to go back to this chart, 224.78. If we push through 224.78, Thursday's high of 230.61 would be expected, quite possibly 235.76 intraday. Now, this high at 230.61 is a bit of a pivot point in itself. And so, depending on your trading style and such, I do think if we push, especially if we open today above 224.78, you should allow for 235.76 on an intraday basis, where we can top out for the day and perhaps fall off again. Even on an intraday basis, we could test early in the day 235.76, and by the afternoon be trading back below 224.78, which will keep selling pressures intact as we move into next week. Now, if we do close above 235.76 today, and I think that's a long shot, then this 245.08 to 247.83 region then likely within just a few days, and that is once again 245.08 on the weekly chart, and on the daily chart, 247.83. Both rising steadily, both representing meaningful resistance, able to contain buying through November. And once tested, we could fall off again, back to 190.56 within 3 to 5 weeks. So holding below 247.83, I maintain a 190.56 3 to 5 week target. And if we do close above 247.83, we've got a good low, I'm going to say, through the rest of the year. I'm not entirely prepared to say what the technical levels would be because I haven't wasted any time on that just yet. I really need to see what the low is. So I will say if we close above 247.83, good low through the rest of the year. And I'll just go ahead and limb and say this 299.29 high from July in reach within a matter of 3 to 5 weeks, and then some. There will be new rising channel structures and such that have now actually are no longer valid And why is that? Because, we violated the channel bottom. So we have new structures to create. I just need to see how low this market's going to go in the coming days and weeks. And once again, I'll finish with 190.56 remains a 3 to 5 week objective below 247.83. And we may reach that much sooner, especially if we continue trading below 224.78 into next week. I'm going to leave it at that. Really not much else to say. Please click like, share, and subscribe, and check out wickedstocks.com. I'll be back Sunday afternoon with Monday's Tesla. You have a great weekend.